Hello BookTube, this is Dario. Welcome to my channel, Motley Reads. So it's Sunday evening here. June is almost done. I was out for an evening run, and it was terrible. It was so hot outside, and you couldn't breathe fresh air. So it was it was really tough running conditions. I don't like very much heat, so these summers that have been lately, with ever warmer and warmer weather, some people like it a lot. I'm not a big fan of it at all. So now they say that the weather will be a bit cooler during next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. So June is coming to conclusion now, and also the reading that I planned for June as well. I've been one part of my reading for June was related to pride. Reading of LGBTQ plus literature, either written by LGBTQ writers or about LGBTQ theme. So in my introduction video, announcement video, I introduced 3 books, and for 2 of them I already made a video, and now I'm going to conclude by making a video for the 3rd book. So the 2 books that I already made a video about, it's Maurice by E.M. Forster and Giovannis Room by James Baldwin. And for those of you that saw the video, you know that I liked both of the books very, very much, and especially Giovannis Room. I was really enjoying that. I was blown away by James Baldwin. I love his writing. So anything that this guy wrote is for me fantastic reading. So these 2 guys here, both of them, Maurice back in beginning of 20th century, 1910-ish. And an English gentleman, as you can see here on this picture, really going through experience of in a prolonged process, coming out of the wardrobe as a gay man in a very, very conservative English society, that where being gay has been prohibited well into 1960s, I think. So this whole under the radar thing, and realization and shame and everything that you go through and people went through during that period of time, you can see here. And then in 1950s, the American guy David, who leaves the U.S. conservative U.S. society and is living in Paris and exploring his sexuality in a more liberal environment, albeit still struggling with the sexual identity and really not being willing to accept his true nature due to various reasons related to heritage and societal acceptance and so on. So these 2 characters are both in a way alike. There are lots of differences, but they it is still struggle with coming out of wardrobe. Now the 3rd book, Less. Arthur Less, the protagonist of this book, he doesn't have any problems with coming out of wardrobe. He's a gay man, and this book is written in 2017 by Andrew Sean Greer. And for this book, Andrew Sean Greer has won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2018. So I started reading this book after finalizing the Giovannis Room and Maurice, and got into it less came in, and a guy that is very kind of comfortable in his homosexuality, and he's a man that is 49, approaching 50. He's fading beauty, so to say, failing author. He's been parting himself throughout the life, and being party boy, exploring his sexuality in a liberal environment of San Francisco, and met this older poet, world-renowned poet, and he becomes his lover, and is serving this poet for years, being like his accessory, being always in his shadow, and then at some point the poet leaves him, and at that point he's already in his 30s, and then he meets a younger guy, and that he goes together with, and he leaves him for years, and then this younger guy leaves him to get married with somebody younger, and then Les finds himself being alone, 49 years old, and alone, failed in his writing, and trying to find his place in a world. He's invited on a kind of international book tour, and accepts that just to come out from the situation that he found himself in. And this is what the condensed plot of the book as explained on the back side, and how it starts. And I opened the book, and I started reading this book, and after the two books I read, this book has a really modern style. I felt it was written in a way that it could be easily adopted into a screenplay, so the film rights could be sold easily. It was, I really thought, oh, come on, man, this is, it wasn't really a writing, that type of writing that I was really being up for after reading the previous two books. Also, I felt the book was, in the beginning, it was silly, this. It says it is funny, and I found it, this comedy, it was pretty silly, and also it started using the retrospective views, looking back, and I really don't like that very much in books. So already when I started reading it, I was pretty disappointed with the style, with the whole comedy stuff, with the retrospective and all that. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? I really wasn't up for it. But I thought, okay, it won Pulitzer, and I know that several people on BookTube really liked the book, so I really have to give it a chance. So I continued reading, and it didn't take a long time, and then something happened. I got really sucked into the story, and the comedy in the book is executed in a very, very sophisticated way, so to say. I found it done in a way that is similar to the way that like David Lodge is doing, or if you go to more classical comedy writers like Evelyn Waugh or Kingsley Amis. Right in the right places to awake right feeling. You get this comedy, it is entertaining, but still it's kinds of it pulls you into pores of the story, and the writer gets you where he wants to get you. And where Andrew Sean Greer wants to get you is that all these comical episodes all of them are just small misfortunes that Arthur Less is getting into. They might be comical on surface, but they are just, it's a web of that makes his destiny, really. So you through all these comical scenes, you start to pity him, really. And then all these, retrospective scenes that are used there, they are used in a way that you are following Arthur Less through different episodes. He's traveling the world, so he's in Turin, he's in Berlin, he's in Paris, in Marrakesh, and so on. You follow him through these episodes, and always getting into retrospective, and everything that he does in these episodes in the current time, you see it from the perspective of sad things that happen to him in life. So this retrospective is used to cast a light on his current dealings, that although they are portrayed as a comical, you understand that they are just expressions of tragedy in his life. So this was, you feel really sad. I felt sad about Arthur Less. I just want to hug him and tell him, that everything is going to be okay. And he wasn't, he failed in his writing and wasn't really good at anything. He's a beautiful man, but that's about it. The only thing that he's good at is to kiss passionately, like there is no tomorrow, and that's also some sign of that he's kind of trying to seize the moment and trying to like in panic do his best here and now, just to don't let things slip. Tragical character, and in one episode, there is a father of his young lover is telling him, he's talking about his own process of aging, and he's saying, when I was a young man, I went through lots of tragedy and lots of bad things, but now when I'm older, I'm quite rich. I'm feeling quite good. So all the tragedies, all the bad things that happen into my life now have turned into comedy that I'm really enjoying. And you, Arthur Less, your life has been comedy altogether. You've been partying, having fun, and now your life is turning into a tragedy. And you read that, and then you think, but wait a minute, man, you are wrong. You don't know Arthur Less like I know. His life wasn't comedy. His life was tragedy altogether. So when he's 50, when will Arthur Less shift into enjoying his life? And I was thinking when I was thinking that, I was thinking about this book, the book Falling Upward by Father Richard Rohr, that I read as a part of maybe Midrash, the spiritual reading during May, which talks about the spirituality for the two halves of life, where sufferings of the first half of your life, all the mistakes and everything, is creating fundament, the strength of your inner being, that enables you actually to embrace the second half of life in your mature life and really live a happy life. And thinking of that, and thinking of how the whole Arthur Less's whole life, that on the surface could have been all party and so on, but in reality is really a tragedy. Reading this, you're thinking that, okay, at some point, all these things, bad things that happened to him at once, with his lover leaving and he's failing in his writing and so on, that has to be a turning point, and has to lead into something positive. So you start hoping for Arthur Less, and it's a very hopeful book. I really liked it. It didn't start well, but I really liked it. And this book is not, the whole thing of homosexuality in this, although it is advertised as being, LGBT literature, that's just in the background. What this book is really is about. It's about aging, about love, about loneliness, and about these are the feelings, these are the things that all of us, regardless of the sexual orientation, in some way get subjected to, either through in our own lives or through lives of the people we care about. So this realization comes into core of what I was talking about in the announcement video about how do we get higher acceptance for LGBT community in our society, and that is basically through recognition and through empathy. And recognition and empathy, the easiest way to get there is to cultural consumption like this. So this reading is, I couldn't finalize this month with more perfect reading than Less by Andrew Sean Greer. A great book. Pick it up. I hope you like it. Bye.